Hello, amazing ladies. I am so excited. Happy Friday. So excited to be here with everybody. Let me turn that down. Nobody wants to hear that feedback. I am so excited to be here. It is a beautiful day. I know that's a judgment. But let me just explain the details of that. So I live in Western New York. I live right by Lake Erie, which is, Buffalo. Okay. So it is cold for, I don't know, maybe like 10 months of the year. So this whole week it has been like 80 degrees and I am just loving it. And we have a pool. This is our first pool that we've ever had. And I am just indulging in it. So every chance I get, I just soak it up. I soak in the sun. I know that it's supposed to get down to 60. Hey, Kay, welcome. And so we are just taking advantage of it. So tell me what you're celebrating this week. There's so much celebration to be had, something that you're grateful for. That is such an important part of expanding. All right, trailblazers, in order to expand, we must celebrate. We must offer gratitude. We must celebrate. These are two key elements in being able to attract more joy, more gratitude, more opportunities to us is to actually take advantage of our innate ability to create those, right? Remember, we are co-creating with the universe. So we are actually creating a reality. That is how powerful we are. So when we offer gratitude, when we celebrate, we are wiring. I put something on there. Oprah said a quote about celebrating. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I know that when we celebrate, I have a blog about this, how important it is in our expansion to celebrate, because every time we celebrate, we are firing a whole cocktail of endorphins. Neurotransmitters are just firing away, all the feel good. So it hits the reward system. And this is something we're going to talk about the ultimate self, form of self-love. But it hits when we celebrate, it releases all these neurotransmitters, all these endorphins, all the serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, like you name it, it's being fired off. So it hits the reward system. It really activates that reward system to make us want to do it again, right? So why just celebrate the big celebrations that we have of like, oh, I got a new job, I got this, I did this. Celebrating families' birthdays this week. Oh, and next week, relationship is so important, you guys. That's another thing. I wrote a blog last week, I think it was, just about the importance of community and connection. So important to nurture that. So celebrate. Yeah, celebration is huge in expanding. It's huge in being able to take your life to the next level, to take your professional career to the next level, celebrating what we have right in this moment. If we are stuck in anything other than celebration or gratitude or love even, right? What are some things that you love about today? Hey, Mandy, good to see you. I can't wait to meet you later. I'm so excited. So what are some things that you are celebrating? What are the things that you're grateful for? What are the things that you love about today, right? Just being able to align with that higher vibrational frequency allows you to step into expansion. Again, this is scientific, you guys. This isn't me just making it up. There are quantum physics around this, around the energetic force of different emotions and what that brings off, what that attracts and what that expels from you, right? So let's start with gratitudes. Let's start with celebration. Hey, Cheryl, good to see you. Celebration, gratitudes. What is something that you love? Falling in love. Think about that. It's a beautiful day so far. Weather is calm and peaceful. Yes, right? Loving the way that the sun just hits, the water or, shines into my office. Whatever it may be, these are all ways to actually increase those really feel good neurotransmitters. And then it just sort of, moves on out and we start attracting more good, more love, more light, more gratitude, more joy. So that's how we want to start. And not to mention it's Friday. Not everybody, this is their last day of work. Some people work on the weekend. So I recognize that. So let's just celebrate that it's a day. it is a day. It is a day to rejoice. It is a day to be thankful. And we are going to dive into the ultimate form of self-love. So, a little bit of housekeeping, just so you all know, this is the last day for early bird pricing for the Money Mindset Breakthrough. It is a half day event. So it's a 4-hour event that happens next Friday on the 20th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time. So it is going to be packed full with different information about mindset, about internal blocks that are actually repelling money away from you. And we don't want that. We want to invite money in. We want to create financial flow, financial abundance, financial freedom. And if you feel stuck in this area, like so many people do, so many, because of inflation, like there are things, it's a reality that, prices of groceries, of gas, of, just our everyday needs are increasing. So why not shift our mindset to match that, right? We think about, we go into the scarcity mode, which actually is not very helpful. It like I was saying, it repels financial flow. So in this half day event, we are going through specific techniques to shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance to create that financial flow and freedom. And I am saying, like, I have had people within the first week of doing some of this work just have money come to them out of nowhere. Somebody ended up getting, they ended up getting a huge sum of money from their employer because, I don't know, it was like back pay or something like that, but they were not expecting it. And they were going through this course, and it's all about abundance. It's all about really releasing those limiting beliefs that are keeping you stuck internally so that you can allow the abundance to flow from you. So this is the last day for early bird pricing. We do have tickets available until next week. I want to say Thursday. You can try Friday morning, but you might miss the email that tells us, or that tells you where to go. So making sure that you secure your spot for that special, it's a Zoom session, and I'll put the, hey, Callie, welcome. I'll put the link underneath the, Kay, if you have the link, can you put it in the comments? If not, I'll put it in the comments later. So just be sure to secure it, to secure your spot in the Money Mindset Breakthrough. And I'm talking about, I've had countless women just say, oh my gosh, that was my best month of, my job, or I had $800 come to me out of nowhere, or I had $100 check, like it all over the place, just money coming to them. So if you want that experience, make sure you sign up for the Money Mindset Breakthrough. That is next Friday on May 20th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time. And you'll see it. There's a layout of everything to expect and, what times and stuff like that. So I'm so excited to see you there. I know that so many of you have already joined. So I'm so excited to just spend that day with you and really bust past those limiting beliefs so that you can just feel more freedom, more ease in your life. So that is part of my mission, is for everyone to live in ease and flow and joy. So all right, so let's dive in, ladies. So when we are talking about the ultimate form of self-love, what are some things that come to you? Like, what do you think the ultimate form of self-love is? Put it in the comments. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts, right? And there is no wrong answer, right? There really isn't. I'm going to give you the ultimate form of self-love. So maybe I guess there is. But being able to recognize that under this ultimate form of self-love, all of the other things come, right? All of the other, answers, anything that you'll put out there. Hey, Ashley, welcome. So put it in the comments. What do you think? What do you think the ultimate form of self-love is? Any type of self-care. Yes, Mandy, right? That falls right into it. And how we identify self-care. And we'll get into some of this, right? Of looking at how do you take care of yourself? Thank you so much, Kay. Thank you. Prioritizing self-care. Yes, the priority of it, the priority of, taking care of yourself first, right? And being able to say, I am worth it. This is so worth it. Pampering and meditation, right? That is such a form of self-care for some people. Some people self-care is hiking. Some people, it's it's just going to the spa for a day, right? That is such a form of self-care. So self-care and self-love are definitely intertwined. So being able to recognize, right? I love those answers. I love, like, that is very specific for you, right? And Mandy, get into what does it mean for self-care, right? And you don't have to put it in the comments unless you want to. That's always fun. Put it in the comments. What is actually, I will. I'm going to have everybody put it in the comments, just like Kay did. What is your form of self-care? What does that look like for you? Does it look like alone time, or does it look like family time? It's different for different people. So it's really important to dig into what self-care looks like for you and not let anybody else define it for you, identify it for you. And again, it might be one day, it might be going to the salon and, you know, I love getting my pedicures, and another day it's hiking with my family, right? So what is that form of self-care? Put it in the comments, whether you're watching it right now or you're watching the replay, just put it in the comments, and we always love to hear from you guys. So here we go. Right? Consistent sleep routine. Oh, Ashley, that's so good. Crafting, journaling, meditation. Yes, Mandy. So good. So good. All right. So the ultimate form of self-love, drum roll, keeping commitments to yourself. Who saw that coming? It's keeping commitments to yourself is the ultimate form of self-love. We can identify, it's so important to identify. Put that in the comments, Kay, can you? Ultimate form of self-love is keeping commitments to yourself, right? Everybody put it in the comment. I commit to myself. I commit to myself. Put it in the comments. This is the ultimate form. We can have so many ideas of what self-care means to us, of, you know, how we want to take care of ourselves, how we are, showing up for ourselves, right? And we're like, oh my gosh, yes, I love going to the spa. I love getting my nails done. I love taking hikes. I love just sitting by the beach, right? All of these things that are ultimate for me. Yes, committing to your, thank you, Kay. Yes, I commit to me. Yes, Mandy, say it loud and proud. I commit to me, right? I commit to myself. And how often do you go through? Let's just look at today. Let's look at today. Did you break any commitments to yourself today? Yes or no? Yes. Yeah, you love that energy. I love the energy too. Have you broken any commitments to yourself today? It is one of the easiest things to do is to break commitments to ourselves. We can say, I don't know how many times before I have said, I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I am going to go to the gym and yeah, Mandy, right? And I'm going to do this and I'm going to do, yep, hit snooze 2 times. Absolutely. So it's recognizing, right? Each time, what happens each time we break a commitment to ourselves, right? Each time we're saying, guess what? You're not, you know, this isn't important enough. You're not important enough to take care of. You are not important enough to follow your dreams. You're not important enough. Think about that, right? Now, how many times have you broken promises to other people or commitments to other people? Yeah, I was supposed to get up and run with my boyfriend at 8 a.m. Did not get up until 10, nor did I run. Right? So I'm going to go through all like 5 different tips to actually keep commitments to yourself. Why is it so easy to break commitments to yourself, but not others? Great question, Mandy. Great question. Okay. So when we look at keeping commitments to ourselves versus other people, right? We don't want to let other people down. We have this. So here's this, we have all these limiting beliefs around putting ourselves first, taking care of ourselves, self-love, self-care. Okay. One of the ultimate limiting beliefs that we have, and I want to say, especially as women, is that it's selfish. Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever heard it? Have you ever seen it? Right? And this is what I mean, right? Oh, hey, Lily. Welcome back to the States, girl. It's so good to see you here. Oh my gosh, so excited. Lily was in Nigeria for, I don't even know how long. I think it was like a month. Okay. Squirrel, sorry. So when we, where was I? Being selfish. How often were you shown or told that it's selfish in one way or another to put yourself first, right? When in growing up, I have all of these amazing, amazing women in my life who are, I mean, they are determined. They are highly driven. They are, oh my gosh, they are just so amazing. Hey, Rosa, welcome. So all of these amazing women in my life who are successful, right? They created businesses. My great grandmother came off the boat from Poland and started businesses, and she finally landed on this furniture store that was in my family for a very long time. And my grandmother took it over with her brother, and all this stuff. And my mom is she's a hard worker. She is determined. She went to grad school when she had 5 kids. Just amazing women in my life. But guess what? Guess what they also did? They would never take time for themselves. I remember my grandmother running the furniture store that she owned, from passed down from my great grandmother. It was next to her house. So she would run back and forth, making sure dinner was made, making sure everyone was fed. Do you know my grandfather he stopped working at 40 years old. So she was doing all of this. So what did I learn? You put everybody, she would eat last, just like my great grandmother, my mother too, right? She would pick as she would cook. Did anybody else see this? Put a yes in the comments. I know I'm not the only one, right? So when we're looking at that as a female growing up, right? And you're looking at everything. My mom worked 3 jobs. And she still showed up for my swim meets, and she still drove me to my concerts and made sure she was at my concerts. Yeah, Lily, right? So I saw this, and internally, and I know this was not any sort of malicious intent, but I'm looking at that and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to do things for everyone else. Okay. And then I get to eat when everybody else is eating. And then I actually get to rest when everybody else is taken care of. Right. So we grow up, or at least I did. I grew up seeing this over and over and over, and with all the women in my family. So, and then of course, my mom has this mindset too. You put everybody else's needs before your own. She is one that will make sure everybody else is comfortable while somebody's coming into town, make sure everything is lined up, make sure everybody's happy, make sure all of this stuff, right? So she still does that, but guess what? She holds on to so much anger and resentment because she does this, right? Because she doesn't have time and she doesn't know how to turn it off. She just doesn't. So we have this opportunity. I'm bringing this up. And again, this prevents us, this belief, what are the things that you've learned about taking care of yourself? I'm curious, was it okay? Was it accepted when you were growing up? Did you get the message that it's important for you to take care of yourself and for you to show love to yourself? Was that something my mom would cook and eat in the counter when we ate at the table? Yeah, sometimes she didn't even eat, right? So these things impact us. I'm not blaming anybody, right? This is not about blame. This is just about bringing it to our awareness, right? We break commitments to ourselves because we don't think we're worth it. That is the blatant, truth. We don't think we're worth it. We invest in things that we believe are worth it. Okay. Relationships are, you catch yourself doing that a lot now. Yes. Right. So we do not invest in ourselves because we value other people before us. And like I was saying, it is important. Relationships are important. Yes. But guess what? The number one relationship is the relationship with yourself, right? I can form relationships. I remember when I was younger and I was just like, I can love everybody else so much better than I can love myself. And that's okay. That's not okay. That's what I told myself to get through, right? That's what I needed to hear to make it to the next step. But I was lying to myself. I was lying to myself that I didn't need to love myself enough. So yeah, we break commitments to ourselves because we're like, you're not worth the time or the energy. I know that might be a hard pill to swallow, you guys. I totally do. And I remember having to swallow that. Hey, Allison, welcome. I remember, going through that whole transition myself because it is this pull. I remember, I did something for myself and, the kids didn't get to do something because my husband wouldn't take them. And I'm like, but I still went. My mom said, well, you should have been there. You should have been with the kids. And again, she comes from a loving place. She comes from the space of like, I'm so grateful for her. She is very thoughtful for everybody. And she suffers a lot. And I don't want to live like that. But I remember getting that message. That was a verbal message of like, you shouldn't have put yourself first. You should have been there. You should have taken care of the kids. You should have taken them. It was Halloween. It was trick-or-treating. You should have taken them trick-or-treating. You should have made all of the, she would always make sure that we had all of these, she would do arts and crafts with us. I am not an arts and crafts person. I'm just not. Come to realize that about myself. And she's like, you should have done arts and crafts with them. I'm like, right. So it's all the shoulds that get put on us that stop us from keeping commitments to ourselves. So I want you to, shift into this mindset that it's actually detrimental. You are every time that you hit that snooze button, from a conditioned place, when you have a commitment to be somewhere, when you have a commitment to yourself to wake up and just love on yourself, whether that's journaling or stretching, like that's saying, oh, guess what? You know what? You're not worth my time today. I'm just going to shut that off. You're not worth my time. Right. And I know that I'm coming at this. I feel like I'm coming at this like pretty direct and hard because it's the truth. Right. And that was something that I had to realize. How am I showing up? I want to know, how are you showing up for yourself every single day? I want you to put in the comments, I am worth it. I am worth keeping my commitments. I am worth it. I am worth it. I am worth it to take care of myself. I am worth it to wake up when I promise myself I will, to do whatever I want. I am worth it. I'm slowly climbing out of the burnout from years of prioritizing everyone. Yes, it's a long process. Absolutely. Ashley. Hey, Lori, welcome. But yeah, it's a long process, but we start every single day. I am worth keeping my commitments. Yes. Put it in the comments, speak it loud, speak it proud, speak it often. I am worth keeping my commitments. I am worth it. I am worth it. I don't even care if you have keeping my commitments. I am worth it, right? I am worth spending the time, spending the energy, spending the money on. I am worth doing that. I am worth it. And a whole lot more. Yes, Mandy. So this is the first part of keeping your commitments, right? The ultimate form of self-love is keeping commitments to yourself. So how do we do that when we have so many self-limiting beliefs, when we have so many conditions? I am worth it. I'm worth allowing my purpose to change without fighting back. Oh, girl. Yes. I am worth living my truth. Yeah. My morning. Yes. I know, Allison, your morning time alone is that's you showing yourself self-love. Ashley, I am worth it. Absolutely. Right. So that is the movement that we want to take, right? That is the movement that we want to start, is recognizing I'm worth taking care of. I'm worth loving in whatever way I need. That might be fueling my body differently, eating differently, not from a conditioned place of like, I have to lose weight because X, Y, and Z. It's, I love myself enough to take really good care of this vessel that was given me. And I am worth waking up in the morning. I am worth journaling. I am worth, or, it all depends on like what your chronotype is. I can get into that in another one, of like when your best energy is spent where during the day. Totally cool stuff. So anyways, it's, just keeping commitments to yourself is that ultimate form of self-love. That is showing up for yourself so lovingly, so courageously, and that forms this bond within yourself to recognize this, right? This, when we talk about, hey, Jillian, so good to see you. When we talk about, creating, like when we show up for ourselves, when we keep those commitments to ourselves, we're telling ourselves over and over and over that you're worth it, right? And then something shifts within us to let us really know. It brings it from here, saying it, I'm worth it, I'm worth it, I'm worth it, to I know I'm worth it. It connects the mind with the heart. And this is what really transcends you. Let's see. My mental health nowadays is keeping up with my fitness. Girl, I hear you, Rosa. I needed that too, completely. That is why I wake up at like 4:30 in the morning and made that commitment. And I know myself enough to know that I need accountability. So I signed up to a gym, and they are a small gym and highly accountable. So But we'll get into that. So what are some ways, right? When we're fighting against all of these conditioned beliefs, right? Whether they're overt or covert, the overt would be, the example of my mom saying, you should have been there. You shouldn't have put yourself first. You should have been there for your kids. Like, they were trick-or-treating. Their dad was home. He could have taken them. Right? But I should have been there. But that's the overt message. The covert message is watching all the women in my family put everybody first before them and them at the very, very last. And I saw them go through, and I'm still seeing them go through a lot of suffering. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to suffer throughout my entire life. Can I hear that? Don't want to suffer? Are you with me? Put a yes in the comments. Don't want to suffer my entire life. I want a different life. And I want a different life for my kids too. So when we're looking at how do you keep commitments, how do we do that, right? When we're so used to breaking commitments to ourselves, first is that mindset shift, right? And that's why I just went at it hard of just you're saying that you're not worth it. Every time you don't show up, every time that you do not that you break a commitment to yourself, it breaks you down even more and more into your self-worth. Right. When we just stay in that cycle of not believing that we're good enough to invest in. Right. So that's that mindset shift from I'm not worth it to I am so worth it and more. Right, Mandy? That's what you said. And so much more. So shifting from that mindset, recognizing that I am, every time I break that commitment, I am saying I'm not worth it. Every time I keep a commitment, I'm like, I love you so I swear, you guys, I love you so fucking much that I'm doing this for you because I believe in you and I know you're worth it, right? I know that you're worth this happiness and this joy. That's why I'm making the changes now. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to, yes, I want to live life fully. Yes, Ashley. We are not promised tomorrow. We are never promised tomorrow. You are so right, Ashley. Yeah, your whole family told me not to go to Nigeria. I went anyways. Yes, it's motivated you, right? So much, right? So yeah, blocking out that outside noise, really getting into yourself and knowing what your worth is. That's the mindset shift that we get into when we truly embrace our self-love, when we truly keep the commitments to ourselves. So that is, and also moving from I can't to I can, or recognizing it's like, oh no, I don't want to wake up today. It's like, well, I'm choosing not to wake up today, which means I'm choosing to not keep my commitments, right? So we can make that mindset shift there of I can't to, no, I actually choose not to do this. And then you can get a little bit more curious as to why you're not doing the thing that you wanted to, that you committed to. When we shift away from, and here's another mindset shift really quick, that's you. When we look at this, when we're looking at mindset shifts, we're truly looking at stop being a victim to what was taught to you through society or from your parents or what your caregivers, whoever, right? When we stay in that pattern, we are a victim. We are, oh, nope, I can't get out of this pattern. I just don't know. I don't know how to do this. You do know. And now you know, because you're watching me. So, and I think we all know deep down in our souls, we actually have a lot more power than we give ourselves credit to, right? So we move from victim to empowered. I am making a choice. I am making a choice to do these things. I am making a choice to go against these limiting beliefs. And that's the empowerment. We can always change our story. That's what's beautiful about the mind, about the soul, is that we can change our story that we tell ourselves. We just have to have the tools sometimes and the support. And you guys are in an amazing group of trailblazers who are so supportive of busting past limiting beliefs and really taking your life to the next level. So you couldn't be in a better place. So I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. So that's the first thing, is that mindset shift, right? How do you keep commitments? The ultimate form of self-love is keeping commitments to yourself. How do we keep commitments to ourselves? It's that mindset shift to begin with. Right? That is just the beginning. And here's the next thing to really look at when you're setting your intentions, when you're saying, you know what, I really want to do this for myself. I really want to okay, so here's an example. I really want to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Said me never. I've never said that before. It's oh, that'd be so great. No. What I did say was, you know what? I really want to get back into the healthiest form of me, the healthiest form. And that's not the skinniest form. That is not, that's a whole nother story, right? I can get into weight. I can get into the dieting and all that stuff. This is different. I really just want to be at my best, right? Because I want to feel better. I want to, just feel more, what do I want to say? Energy throughout the day. So I started looking at diet and exercise. But anyways, I'll look at the exercise. It's like, okay, I really want to join this gym. I wanted to join this gym because it's a female-owned gym, right? And it is so cool. It has spin classes, it has HIIT classes, and they're just 2 rooms and they're so cool. So anyways, I aligned with a value of mine that it was female owned, that I wanted to give back to, that it was more of a boutique model where it was like very intimate and really empowering. And I needed something that had really early classes because I do take, I'm here, my husband travels, I have to be back to make sure the kids are up and off to school. So that was my why. I'm like, I want to be at my healthiest. I want to feel good. I want to just, keep my energy going throughout the day. And this is the way that I can do it. So finding your why, right? I have had those moments where it's like, oh, I'm joining the gym because I want to lose weight. And that has never kept me. That might be good for you, but why do you want to lose weight? Why is that important to you? Right? That's a big struggle for a lot of women, right? It's just the body image and that's a whole nother thing. But what is your why? Why are you creating this goal? Why are you creating this commitment? We'll look at that. Why are you saying, you know what? I really want to commit to waking up. I really want to commit to waking up early so I have time to journal. Why? Why is that stuff important to you? Why? Right? And get real with yourself. And if it's not important to you, that's another well, why isn't it important to me? That's interesting. And we always come at these questions, you guys, with curiosity and compassion, right? This is not about shaming. This isn't about shaming yourself for hitting the snooze button twice. I've been there. Anybody else do that? Put a yes in the comments. Do you shame yourself when you break a commitment to yourself? Shame is one of the heaviest emotions out there, and it will not motivate you forward. All it does is bring you down lower and lower. So, but I know I'm guilty of that. I know I'm not alone here. You guys are putting in the comments, but I know I'm not alone here. Yes, I will go down the shame cycle. And I have done that before. And that hasn't led me anywhere but eating ice cream and chips and stuff like that, which again are delicious, wonderful. And I know that that's not what my body needs to fuel itself. So anyways, we want to make sure that when we start questioning, right, why am I hitting the snooze button? Why am I breaking these commitments to myself? What am I saying to myself each time I do this? That's coming from compassion and love, right? So what is your why is your second tip of really keeping your commitments to yourself, right? It's that mindset shift that you're worth it, that you're worth keeping commitments to, that self-care is not selfish, that self-love is not dangerous. It's not going to lead you to complacency. That's another big limiting belief that we have. It's like, well, if I'm not hard on myself, I won't continue to move forward, which is completely opposite. Research has shown it. Everything that you will look at cognitive behavioral compassion therapy negates that survival of the fittest. And you have to be rough on yourself and you have to have the inner critic to move you forward. That is actually false. You have the inner critic in you to drive you into shame, which is more debilitating. Okay. So just wanted to get that straight. So when we look at what is your why in keeping this commitment to yourself? What does it mean to you in the grander scheme of things? And that's what's going to help you to continue, right? This is where we really anchor into not just keeping those New Year's resolutions that usually fail within 2 weeks. This is about anchoring into something deeper within you and what that actually means to you, right? I went through this with another woman who said, I want to become more physically fit. I'm like, why? Why is that even important to you? She's like, because that means freedom to me. That means as I grow, I'm able to do all the things that I want to do because I'm taking care of my body, right? So that's like one of the whys, right? So number one is mindset shift. Number two is keeping your commitments is mindset shift. Number two is that what's your why? Another really powerful why. So what is, I would love to know, like, oh my gosh, who was it? Yeah, grateful for your health. Thanks, Lily. Who was it that said that they hit snooze twice? I can't remember. So what I would love for you guys to do is like, what is a commitment that you made to yourself and why? Why is it important to you? What does that mean to you? You can put it in the comments. It might be a little bit too long to put in the comments for you, but really putting it in the comments is really cool because then you're like putting it out into the world. You're putting it out into the universe. Another really powerful tool to use to keep your commitments is to actually use some visualization. This is really used, athletes use this, manifestation. When we get into manifestation, we use this in manifestation to, bring that money mindset breakthrough course that we're going to be going through together because everybody here is signing up, right? Last day for early bird pricing. It goes through manifestation and the process of manifestation. And part of that is visualizing the end goal. And I put the end goal in quotes because every time we reach a certain level, we can then see a new level. It's like, looking at a hill amongst mountains and you get to this hill and then you see the endless possibilities of just like, oh my gosh, look at how expansive it is, right? Or you get to the top of a mountain, right? You do this really hard climb or beautiful climb. I remember when I lived in Georgia, there was this Kennesaw Mountain is one, Stone Mountain is another one, right? But so many beautiful hiking places in Georgia. And I remember getting to the top of Kennesaw Mountain and you see like the endless possibilities. You see that next possibility, right? And that's what it is when we reach the goals or the commitments or, what we set out for ourselves is we reach it. And then we're like, oh my gosh, I wonder what we can do more, right? I wonder what that next level is. So that's awesome. That's beautiful that we are like ever expanding. That is such a cool thing. So that's why I use air quotes. Sorry, went off on a tangent. So that's why I use air quotes of saying like, what's the end goal? Like imagine your end goal. So I'm just going to stick with like, exercising, getting up and going to my cycle class and everything. When I imagine myself, first of all, waking up at 4:30 is still not my favorite thing. My body has been trained now because it has been, and that's another thing, it's been repetition for me. But it's still like taking the moment of just like, you know what, Leanne, like you are so worth it. This is going to be amazing. You know that this is going to be an amazing start to your day. And I cannot hit the snooze button, right? Because that will just give me more time. It will give me more time to talk myself out of it. I want you to think about this. You might not be a morning person though. That's what I was talking about with the different chronotypes, is that we all have our most opportune times within our body and we're all different. So looking at, imagining the end goal, right? I think about, first of all, that's what I was saying, is that you don't hit snooze because the more you hit snooze, the more you have to talk yourself out of doing something that's really beneficial for you. We never talk ourselves into doing something. It's usually talking ourselves out of it, right, Rosa? So just know that, right? It's knowing yourself. And that's number 5 is like knowing yourself, knowing that, nope, I'm not talking myself into it. I'm talking myself out of it. So that's why you shoot up from the bed, you do not hit snooze, right? But I imagine the end goal of just like, oh my gosh, this is going to feel so amazing. I love the instructor. I wonder what kind of inspirational music, he or she is going to play. I don't know what what are they going to do in this? Like, I am so excited to see what's going to happen and to know that I'm going to feel amazing, right? Because I leave feeling accomplished. I leave feeling so excited to hit the day. So looking at that, and then we can even imagine further out. So that's just getting to like the immediate end goal of like, oh, this is going to make me feel so great. But when we have our big why, we can visualize that as well. We can visualize us, as the healthiest version of ourselves. We can, oh my gosh, this is why I'm doing it. And I'm going to feel so good. And it's, my knees are going to stop hurting and whatever it is, right? So use that visualization to motivate. I don't even want to say motivate you, because that's not the right word. It's to inspire you to keep commitments to yourself. So just to recap really quick, we have the ultimate form of self-love is keeping commitments to yourself. How do we do that? We shift our mindset, right? We know our worth. We tell ourselves how like worth it we are. We recognize why we're creating these commitments. What is the purpose? That's going to guide you throughout all of the times when you just feel like hitting the snooze button or breaking commitments to yourself. Why is this important for you to keep this commitment? That's going to help you to really anchor into it and to continue to keep that commitment to yourself. And imagining the end goal is the third way that we can do it. We can imagine and the like what it's going to feel like directly after we do it. We can imagine what it's going to feel like when we continue to do this, when we continue to show up for ourselves, when we continue to engage in self-care, when we continue to whatever it is, whatever your intention or your commitment is to yourself. Okay. So the fourth thing is repetition, right? Having it ingrained. There are so many things that are ingrained in our brain, and it has been through repetition. Think about it, the limiting beliefs, right? The limiting beliefs that we have been a repetitious cycle. It's like a groove on a record, right? Over and over and over, we tell ourselves these things, right? It's selfish to put yourself first, you're not worth it. Like somebody else is more important than you, right? That's how we prioritize, other people are more important than my worth, or than my self-care or than what I want to do, which is so false, right? You're the most important person to you. You truly are. And then that will flow outward, right? And people will feel that, and people will gravitate you, and the people who you're meant to have relationships with will be there with you. So being able to get, to have that repetition, right? So I know my days. I go to the gym Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, I stay home and do yoga and journal, right? Friday, I go to the gym again. And then Saturday and Sunday, I have fun and I play, right? Doing something physical or, maybe it's just taking a walk or whatever, but I have that repetition, especially when it's early on, right? Especially when it's early on in this journey of keeping commitments to yourself, because that is going to solidify in your brain. That is going to, create a new groove saying, oh my gosh, this feels really good. This is just a regular pattern, right? So repetition. So, hey, can you put like the sort of each one of them in the comments? So the first one is that mindset shift. This is how we keep commitments to ourselves, right? The mindset shift. Then what is your why to your commitment? Then imagining the end goal, right? Imagining the quote unquote end goal, and repetition. Now the final one is knowing yourself. And, I didn't put these all in like a specific order. So however you want to utilize them, that's how it is. So I had mentioned, right, is knowing yourself. I knew, like I had tried to, and I was able to do it for a while, exercise by myself. I would wake up, I wouldn't wake up as early, but I would wake up and I would do my exercises. And then I would, do the rest of my morning. And I did that for a little bit, maybe a month or so. And then I fell off, right? I didn't keep that commitment. So recognizing that I had tried that over and over and over, and I have continuously fallen off the wagon. I knew that I wanted something. Thank you, Kay. I knew that I needed accountability, and that I really, at least in the beginning, right? I need the accountability. I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted a female-owned business because that aligns with my soul of just like lifting up other women. I knew that I just wanted that more intimate. So knowing yourself, to what do you need to support, right? What do you need to support keeping commitments to yourself? Because again, we're going against the grain of a lot of conditioning. So do you need the accountability? Do you need a group, right? And I love group fitness too, right? I love group fitness. So, and some people hate it, but I know I thrive in it. So when you look at like a group, just like you guys are in this group, all you trailblazers are in this group to support each other, to cheer each other on, to really, you saw it when you joined, and I was like, hey, welcome. And all, the women were just like, welcome, so excited you're here. This is what we're all about. We're about supporting each other. So do you need that support? What do you need to support holding yourself, holding on to your commitments? Because again, that is the ultimate form of self-love, is keeping those commitments to yourself. So in order to do this, so what is a commitment? Okay, I want to hear it in the comments, right? What is a commitment that you want to put out there? Right? I said there's one thing of saying it to yourself. There's another thing of writing it down and putting it out there. So what is a commitment that you want to make? Put it in the comments that you want to make today, right? It could be to take a walk, to take a break, to take a breather, to meditate. It could be to have fun and laugh. It could be to dance. A commitment that you want to make to yourself today. And then what I would love to see is you posting it. I would love to see you posting it in the group. That would be so cool. And we could all cheer you on, be like, woo, that's awesome. You did it. What an act of love, right? So put it in the comments what you're committing to today. And what I want to end on is actually a meditation. When we think about self-love and we think about the getting my work done, I hear ya. So when we take an actual break for lunch, yes, even if it's only 15 minutes, yes, that is mindful. Oh my gosh, Ashley, get it, girl. Yes, you deserve to take an actual break during lunch and get out being mindful somehow. It could be in your office. It could be out of your office. I don't know. I know for me, when I was working in corporate, it is not, and even here, it's like, I'm not going to take a break in my office. There's way too many things to do. So I have to like physically leave. I've always been like that. So I know I'm not alone in that. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty proud because I think I do a really good job of keeping my commitments to my morning routine of fitness. Yes, you do. You really do. Today, I commit to eating my healthy food for lunch instead of getting takeout with coworkers. Nice, beautiful commitment to yourself. Way to self-love. So when we talk about, the first one that I said with that mindset shift, okay, this knowing your worth, right? When we talked about the limiting beliefs, when we talked about everything that was taught to us, right? Whether, about self-love, about self-care, did you see your family, the women in your family taking care of themselves and showing themselves self-love? I did not have that role model, right? Mentor, which is really sad because I adore them and I love them, and they don't like themselves very much. So developing that on your own is possible. When we do in the Next Level Life Purpose Coaching Program, we dive straight into, immediately into self-love, into healing, into challenging these limiting beliefs so that you can really expand into your highest forms, your highest vision, like your best life, right? So that's something that we do immediately. And it's called some inner child work. For those of you who don't know, I am a licensed therapist of 16 years. So I have some techniques that I pull in to the coaching that really exponentially expedite your healing process. So being able to settle in and do some healing on your own, to know your worth and to see yourself clearly. So I want you to, we're going to do a meditation. Ashley, yep. Even when I was pumping milk for my daughter, I would still, yep, work and eat at the same time. Isn't that crazy? So it's so ingrained. It is. It's so ingrained. So this is why it's important for like the repetition, the support, because it's so ingrained and we're going against the grain and it takes some time. And people might not like it, right? They're like, whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean you're not taking care of me the way that you have been for 20 years? Nope. I remember the first times I drew boundaries with my mom and she sobbed and I sat there and I'm like, let her have her feelings. Let her have her feelings. It's going to be okay. Just had to keep on telling myself it's going to be okay. Right. I was standing up for myself. I was saying yes to myself. And that was really hard for her because she wasn't used to me saying that. She wasn't used to, she was used to me being like, okay, mom, like we'll do this and we'll do that. Right. Yeah. So much. So anyways, talking about this like inner child healing, we can do so many cool things with visualizations and meditation. So what I want to end on is a led, visualized meditation. Yes, it's time to stop shooting on ourselves. Yes, don't shit on yourself or anyone else, actually. So let's get into, so I want you to sort of, that's what I want. Okay. So I want you to recall a time, preferably if you can, in your childhood, when you were happy, joyous, and free. You didn't have a care in the world. You were there, you were loud, you were proud, or maybe you were quiet and you were proud, depending on what your personality is, right? It's embracing you. But just a time where you felt so much joy and just so connected to yourself. So that's who I want you to bring to your mind's eye, this happy, joyous, kid. So this is who I encourage everybody to have a portrait of themselves when they were their most authentic. So this is one that I keep right here on my desk at all times to remember who she is, to remember, to make sure that I see her, to make sure that she knows she's loved, right? So that's how I want you to go about in this meditation. So just call on her, bring her to your mind's eye, settle into your chair. I don't know how much meditation you guys have done, but just trust the process, right? Trust that you are meant to engage in this. And when your mind wanders, don't get, just accept yourself, get curious and just let it be. I've been doing this for 16 years, 15 years. And I remember when I first started meditation and mindfulness, I would get frustrated because my mind would wander every 20 seconds. So just be kind to yourself if you're newer to meditation, but just call to your mind's eye that younger part of you that is just so happy, so free-spirited. Closing your eyes, taking a few deep breaths in. Allowing yourself to settle into your seat, allowing your mind to be exactly where your butt is, right? Not in the future, not in the past, just right here, right now. And as you breathe, just imagine roots extending, sort of like roots of a tree, extending from the base of your spine and the soles of your feet into Mother Earth. So these roots of a tree just burrowing down into Mother Earth. So you can feel connected and grounded, supported, all the wonderful things that Earth does for us. So she's so kind to us. So just allowing yourself to dig in, feel that connection. And then again, bringing that younger part of you, this very joyful part of you, this younger part to your mind's eye. What does she look like? How old is she? What is she wearing? Just really allowing yourself to connect with her and see her for all of her joy, all of her purity. and just watching her. Maybe just approaching her now. You might have to get down on her level to see her clearly. Just feel what she's feeling. Allow your heart to open up and flow from your heart, this beautiful, loving energy to flow from your heart to her heart, back and forth. You feel it. You might even see it like a figure 8 moving back and forth, this beautiful light of love, opening up, allowing you to give and to receive the love from her, giving her love from you, receiving love from this younger part of you. And just leaning in and just telling her, I'm so sorry I haven't played with you for so long. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you or see you. Sorry I got busy as an adult and I forgot. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Just allow yourself to sit with her, feel with her. Maybe even taking her hand, or if you haven't, yet, like picking her up. Please forgive me. Now saying to her, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for forgiving me. And now just say to her, I love you. And feel that love expanding from your heart to hers. More and more. Your hearts grow bigger, wider, more open to the giving and receiving of love. Just giving her a big hug and asking her what she wants to do today. And then putting her down if you're holding her, or just letting her run off and do whatever it is that she wanted to do. Allow her to be in that space as you feel the love in your heart. And just taking a deep breath in. Big exhale. Slowly bringing your attention back to the room. Tapping your feet on the ground. Rubbing the tops of your thighs. Giving yourself a big hug. And a stretch if you need to stretch. All right, ladies. So that is some inner child work to recreate, to like help you with that self-love, to help you with that connection to yourself, your most authentic self, your most pure self, your most joyful self. She's in there. We just need to see her. We just have to remind ourselves to connect with her. So anything come up? What was your experience? Were you able to connect? Did you disconnect? You're like, nope, I'm out. I'm not doing this. It's okay, right? This is part of our journey. Needed that today. Yeah. Right. Lots of self-love. So this is some of the techniques, right, that I use to get into that deeper self-love, seeing yourself clearly for all of your beauty, so that we are more apt to keep our commitments to ourselves, right? All the tears. Oh, Ashley, sending you big, big love, right? Embrace that, embrace her, embrace yourself. You are so worth it. You are worth keeping your commitments to. You are worth taking care of yourself. Yes, insights and bringing back the magic happened. Yes, Laura. Oh, so beautiful, ladies. And if I haven't connected with you yet, please, please DM me, direct message me. I love connecting with everybody in this group, every single woman. Kay and I love connecting with you guys. So just reach out. I would love to connect with you. I'm meeting one of you in a few minutes. So I'm super excited. And yeah, don't be afraid to reach out. I'm here to support. I'm super excited. So sending so much love and light your way. Mwah! Have an amazing weekend, amazing Friday. Keep your commitments to yourself. Sign up for the Money Mindset Breakthrough that is going on next week, next Friday. Early bird pricing stops today. It ends today. So be sure to secure your spot. It's a Zoom session. So we are intimate. We are there. We are focusing on freeing you to create that financial freedom. Yes, cheers. Thank you. So much love and light. Have an amazing day, ladies.